Well, hello, girls and boys. It is Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's having a great week. I hope you're getting out there and enjoying the nice weather and staying healthy and well. All right, well, let's go ahead and take care of a couple little things. First of all, I'd like you to check your answers on 10A, dividing mixed numbers. You can pause it. I'm going to move this down a little bit so you can see this next part, and make sure that you are showing all the steps. You cannot do any leave, change, flip here because we first have to get it in improper. So improper, improper, then we can do our leave, change, flip. Make sure you're doing good practices of reducing before you multiply straight across. This number 7 is a good one. Again, I did my check plus. Then I left it, changed it, and flipped it. And I could reduce in two places. The 2 and the 10 divided by 2, and the 7 and the 49 divisible both by 7. So again, here are the mixed up answers. Oh, something is missing right here. What is that number? That is, it looks like it is a 7. All right. So check those. Then I'm going to flip it over. Now these are mostly done on the other side, but it's okay. So again, I hope you got the idea of the division. We're going to be doing more division word problems today. So again, the whole concept today is the first number is a total, or it's what is being divided up. And then you divide it by what is not being divided up. So again, you must show the setup for the word problem itself. If the pizza is being divided up, you need to show me that. Divided equally between two people, you must show me that. So again, it's 2/4 divided by two people. And then you do your procedure of leave, change, flip. I had a good question today in an email. I'm going to move this up while you're looking at your answers and making sure you've got all the work correct. I had a great question today. Is when do I submit? Am I submitting too early? Am I submitting too late? You can submit everything as soon as you complete it. Now, in all honesty, let me move this down a little bit, and I'm going to talk about a couple of these at the bottom. In all honesty, I probably have, I always like to say 1,000,000, but it's really not 1,000,000. I probably have about 900 emails with assignments that I'm going through right now. So to be very honest, I'm going to be selective and pick out some of the most important. But again, if you have it in on time, your grade is probably going to be better if it is a week late. So please try to get those submissions in. If there's anything that I'm missing, I will send an email to your parents. So they probably don't want that many emails anyway. So if you're getting really good at submitting, try to pace yourself. And again, we have assignments Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And again, I want to go over these two here. It says how many pillowcases can they make out of the 12.5 yards. That was being cut up, divided by the 3/4. Is this the one we went over or this one? I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, so the answer ends up 16 2/3. Well, I can't make 2/3 of a pillowcase. No, I cannot. The most I could make is 16. The same thing here. This came to 67 1/5. But I can't put 1/5 of a book on this shelf. So the answer is 67. Again, you should be finding your answers here and crossing them out. So you may submit that at any time. So we're going to go on, and I'm going to try to be shorter on time today so we can just go ahead and get started. I do want to mention, this is very important, when you're submitting work, you should put in the email subject, video 11 work, dash your first name. Or like number 10, video 10 work, dash your first name. So I can pull up when I'm doing a search, I can put in video 11, and I see everybody's video 11s at one time. All right, so we're going to go ahead and look at some more word problems. Again, it's going to be, I would put 11A on this one, and let's just go ahead and get started. All right, so it says, always check out the question. How many students will she be able to hand out pizza to? So one teacher wants to give each student 1 7/19 slice of pizza. If the teacher has 26 slices of pizza, how many students will she be able to hand out pizza? Well, again, the question is, what is it that she's dividing up? Is she dividing up the 1 7/19 pizza per student, or is she dividing up the 26 slices? Well, if you said the 26 slices, you are correct. So again, what is being divided up goes first, and we're lucky today because again, this can be done right on the worksheet. So we're going to take the 26 divided by 1 7/19. I have a feeling these are going to be some ugly numbers. We're going to figure this out. So then again, let's go ahead and go 26. Of course, you always can use your spiral, and I actually might switch to that in a moment because these are ugly. So, and then go ahead and do your leave chain. We can't do that yet. We have to do the improper for this. So 1 times 19 is 19, plus 7 is 26. So divided by 26 over 19. And you're going to have to write really tiny to do it here. All right, do you remember what to do then? On dizzy division, leave, change, flip. Oh, this actually will come out really nice. So we're going to put an equal sign that separates the steps. So 26 over 1, change it to a multiplication, and then flip. So again, all steps must be shown, especially the first one, which shows that you know that this was a division. They're dividing the pizza among how much each student is going to get. So over here, finish that up. And then do you see anything that you can cross off? I certainly don't want to go 26 times 19. Oh no, that would be terrible. Well, if you said the 26 divided by 26, that is it. Can you see what our answer is? And you are right. How many students will she be able to hand the pizza out to? And it looks like 19 over 1, which is just 19. And I'm going to put this to the side. Oh, and I forgot to mention something on the other assignment about the labeling. Let me go back to that real quick. So make sure that on your homework that it says how much pizza does each person get. They get 1/4 piece per person. On this one I labeled it wrong, I think the first time. It says how many cakes will she make? If each cake is going to get a 1/4 cup of oil, she can make 24 cakes. How many servings in a box that has 13 cups? They can make 17 1/3 servings. So make sure that you are putting that labeling. And we're going to go back and do it on this one too. All right, so let's see. So this is going to be how many students? Well, there's the question. And our answer is 19 students. And let's go on to the next one. How many batches of cookies can Mike make? So he wants to make cookies. To make cookies, he needs 1 5/11 per batch of cookies. He's got a total of 16 cups of flour. So again, I'm going to draw a little picture. You don't have to. But again, this is my 16 total. And for one batch, he needs 1 5/11. For another batch, 1 5/11. What am I doing with that total? If you said dividing it up, you are correct. So we're going to take, again, a total. What is being divided up goes first. And the 1 5/8 is not being divided up. So that's going to go second. So it's going to be 16 over 1 divided by, and you might want to start this probably even a little further over because it's going to be a string of work here, divided by 1 5/11. Do not do any check plus on this. Check plus. It didn't say 16 over 11. It said 1 5/11. So now we're going to go ahead and do the second step, which is 16 over 1, still divided by Now we can do the check plus. So it is going to be 1 times 11 is 11, plus 5 is 16 over 11. And then, again, it's dizzy division. What do we do? And if you said leave, change, flip, you are correct. Did I skip a part? I sure did. We might come back to it. So this is going to be leave, change, and flip. Oh, these are coming out pretty. Can you see something that you can cross off? Well, if you said the 16 divided by the 16, you are correct. And we get 11 over 1. So let's put the correct labeling. How many batches? Well, there it is. It is 11 batches. So you're going to get points for the answer and for the labeling. We'll go back to the number 2. I hope this is making sense. All right. It says, if a rabbit can move 1 2/5 miles every hour, that's all he can move. That's it. Then how many hours would it take for him to go 7 miles? So I'm going to put it a little different way. So he's going 7 miles altogether. That is a total. And then for 1 hour, it's going to take him 1 2/5. Another hour, it's going to be 1 I didn't write that right, and 2/5. And so on, 1 2/5. Another 1 2/5. Another 1 2/5. Well, what is it that we're dividing up? Are we dividing up the 1 2/5 miles? No, we're dividing up the 7. We're seeing how many 1 2/5 are in that 7 miles. So what goes first? If you said 7, you are correct. So 7 divided by 1 2/5, and then we'll start our process again. So this is going to be 7 over 1 divided by, at this time I can do my check plus. 1 times 5 is 5, 6, 7 over 5. Oh, I like it when they match here, because when I do the leave, change, flip, it looks like something's going to cross out. So I'm going to leave, change, and flip. And then, do you see something that you can cross-reduce? If you said yes, you are correct. 7 divided by 7 is 1. So 1 times 5 is 5 over 1. So it looks like it is 5. But is that 5 donuts? No. Let's see what the question is. How many hours would it take? It will take him 5 hours. You always get the labeling from the question itself because you're answering that question. Let's do a few more. I don't want to talk too much, but I want to make sure that you understand these. All right, so he has 22 feet of ribbon. Then how many bows can Benny make? Benny is cutting bows out of ribbon, which he uses to wrap gifts. If Benny needs 1 9/13 ribbon to make a bow, so are we splitting that up? No, because he needs that whole piece to make a bow. He's getting it from the 22. So what do you think goes first? Again, he's taking that whole 22, and every bow is, I'm not going to write the whole thing, 1 9/13, another 1 9/13, another 1 9/13. And if you said we're getting it from the 22, you are correct. That's what we're cutting up. So we're going to put the 22, and we're dividing it to see how many 1 9/13 sections are in that. So again, put 22 over 1 divided by, now we're going to do our check plus. Again, you may use your spiral if you can't write this tiny or neat. So 1 times 13 is 13, plus 9 is, what is that? Is that 22? I think so. So 22 over 13. And then we're ready to do leave, change, flip, or leave, change, find the inverse. 22 over 1 times 13 over 22. All right. And then, again, what can we reduce? Oh, these are going to be easy today. I thought they were going to be harder. They looked harder. So that is going to be 13. And it's 13 what? Donuts? No. How many bows can Benny make? He can make 13 bows. Bzzz. What is that sound? Oh my gosh. Oh, oh, it's Mr. Bumblebee. Okay, you better get out of here before you sting me. All right, so just remember who appeared. All right, so it's 13 bows. Let's go on, and I think I'm going to finish up in just a few minutes because these are actually easier than I thought. I always go to the question. There are 46 square feet in his backyard. So how many rows of squash can he plant? In his backyard, Jason is planting rows of squash. To plant a row of squash, he needs 1 8/15 square feet. There are 46 square feet in his backyard. So how many rows of squash can he plant? So again, you can either say, what is it that he's dividing up? And if you say it that way, again, looking at the page from the last time, what's being divided up goes first. What's not being divided up goes second. So it looks like what's being divided up is his yard, the whole thing. What's not being divided up is he needs this much to plant a row of squash. So that is not being divided up. So we're going to take what's being divided up, the 46, and we're dividing it by how many feet are needed for every row of squash, and there's our setup. So you must be showing your setup. And then let's go ahead and put 46 over 1 divided by, do your check plus first. So it's going to be 15 plus 8. Is that 23? I think it is. 23 over 15. All right, this one I don't see a match. So let's see what happens. So this is going to be leave, change, and flip. Okay. Again, this is why we reduce first. You should not be going 46 times 15 because that's not going to give you 100. And it's going to be a lot of work because then you'd have to divide by 23. You should recognize that 23 goes into 46 two times. So we are going to reduce. 23 goes into 23 once, 23 goes into that twice. And then again, good practice is we'll go straight across now. 2 times 15 is 30 over 1, which looks like that is just 30. So how many rows of squash can he plant? We're just going to put 30 rows. And we've answered the question. All right, I'm going to do a few more. Let's see how these go. All righty, so I'm probably going to go down to the bottom one. Let's go ahead and do this one. Is the number 6, how many people can get a share of chocolate? So that's my question. That's probably my labeling. A group of friends decided to buy bulk chocolate from a candy store. If some friends want 1 1/3 kilograms of chocolate of the, or I could say out of the 8 kilograms of chocolate purchased, then how many people can get a share of chocolate? That's a lot of chocolate. That's like, if you multiply that by 2, because I think there's about 2 pounds, or 2.2 pounds for every kilogram, that looks like it's going to be about 2.5 pounds, something like that. But anyway, so what is it that's being divided up? Is the 1 1/3 per person being divided up? No. They want that whole 1 1/3. So that is not what's being divided up. What's being divided up is the total of the chocolate. So again, that total goes first, or what is being divided up among everybody, divided by what each person is going to get. And then again, 8 over 1. It's still a division. We're just going to do our check plus, which it's 4 over 3. And now it's dizzy division, and we are going to leave. I can make it a little bit bigger now. Change and flip. And again, let's do good practices. I want you to, even though this one I could go 24 divided by 4 and it's 6, let's use good practices and keep on learning and mastering how to reduce first. So that's 4 divided by 4 is 1, and this one is 2. So if we go straight across, it looks like it is 6 over 1, which is 6. Now, what is that 6? Is it chocolate? Is it grams? Go to the question. How many people? So it must be 6 people. 6 people are going to be able to get 1 1/3 kilograms. And let me see if there's any difficult. 23. I think that one's easy. We'll go down to the last 2, and then we're going to be done. And then I will assign you what I'm going to assign you. I think it's going to be 2 pages, but they're all the same. So, how many classrooms will get painted? One school purchased 20. Whoop. Oh, let me zoom that down a little bit. One school purchased 20 gallons of blue paint to decorate several classes. Each class needs 1 7/13 gallons of paint. How many classrooms will get painted? All right. What is being divided up? Because that's what's going to go first. If you said 1 7/13, no, that's not being divided. That's exactly what every class must have, so we can't divide that further. What's going to be divided up is the paint. We're going to divide this up among all of the classrooms. So that is going to go first, divided by how much each classroom is getting. And then you're going to keep it a division. We're just going to get it ready to do our leave, change, flip. Do your check plus. Again, pause anytime so you get full understanding and become a math wizard. 1 times 13 is 13, plus 7 is 20. Oh, this one's going to come out pretty. And then leave, change, flip. And then, what can we do? It is going to be, cross that out. 20 divided by 20 is 1. So what do we have left? 13 over 1. So it looks like our answer is 13. And it's 13 what? Gallons of paint? Read it carefully. How many classrooms will get painted? 13 classrooms. And in fact, I think I've gone over a lot. And I'm looking at some of the problems there. I am going to have you finish these 3 problems, and it looks like a lot. It's 20 problems, but you can do those 3. And these 10, you can knock those out on Wednesday, today. And then you're going to, and again, make sure that you are checking off your answers. I did not do that, only because I shouldn't assume that I'm always right, because I'm not. There's 19, there's 19, there's 5, there's 11, there's 13, there's 30, there's the 6, and there's another 13. So here are the last 3 answers. So we did get those right. So I want you to follow that same practice. We want to become math masters. If you don't get any right, shoot me an email, take a picture of your work, and I will send you the solution to those problems. So you're going to go ahead and label this next one 11B. Then you're going to flip it over, and you're going to label this one 11C. So it's 23 problems all together. I hope you have a great idea of how to do those. And we will see you on Friday. Have a good day.